Hi there guys, and welcome back to another tier listing video on the RetroBrown channel. Today we are doing the Gen 1 tier listings from Eevee all the way up to Charmander. So that's pretty much since I started the month for RetroBrown back in December. And we had quite a lot more than just the usual 10 in that tier listing. So we're going to do literally every one that we've done since the start of month for RetroBrown. So let's get started. Everything that we have here is pretty much I'm happy with our new tier listings. I'm pretty happy with how it all goes. So let's get started with Eevee. Now Eevee was the very first run that we did in the month of RetroBrown, and to be fair, it wasn't too bad really. It finished the game in 5 hours and 49 minutes at level 73. I mean, it's kind of like the Cypher situation where it has to only rely on Bide to get through Lavender Tower. But yeah, it's kind of high level, kind of a bad time. And it does really place it into that D tier with the criteria that we have. Now, where in the D tier does it actually really need to go? So, in terms of what did better than it, Snorlax and Arcanine both did better, so it can't be anywhere near as high as these two. Onix did it in 1 minute less, but at a level worse than it at level 76. Eevee did it in level 73. So to be fair, out of that criteria, actually places Eevee between Arcanine and Onix here. You've probably never seen a tier list like it. Right, let's get started with the second, and that next one is Slowbro. Now, Slowbro was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal run, and I reckon if it had a bit more in its speed, it probably would have been in that SS tier. But right now, it's not going to get into that tier because it got a time of 3 hours 20 minutes at level 57. Anything that gets under 3 hours goes in this SS tier. Anything just over goes into the S tier. And because of that, it means Slowbro is actually slower than Kabutops by 9 minutes at the same level, but Primeape had a much worse level at level 62. So to be fair, actually it's more fitting that it sits between the two of these guys. Gengar was not knocked off its top spot here, and I don't know how long it's going to be till that actually happens, but we'll soon find out. Next up is Goldeen, and Goldeen was a tedious run, but it didn't perform anywhere near as bad as Eevee did. So Goldeen finished the game in 5 hours and 9 minutes at level 68. Because of that cut-off time and the cut-off level, it actually means that it fits in the C tier, which I didn't think it would happen. I think it would be a solid D tier contender. But where in that D tier should it go? Well, it didn't do as good as Blastoise. Blastoise finished at 5 hours and 7 minutes, Goldeen finished at 5 hours and 9 minutes, and Blastoise had much better levels, so to be fair, it fits quite comfortably behind Blastoise, but Mr. Mime, it finished the game in 5 hours 20 minutes, so there's an 11-minute difference there, which means that Goldeen actually goes before Mr. Mime. And now, this tier listing is very unusual. That brings us on to Meowth. Now, Meowth was actually a very fun run, but unfortunately, it did the time very similar to Goldeen. It finished at 5 hours and 3 minutes at level 69, meaning it can't just beat out Blastoise, it only just beats out Goldeen. So we've had 2 additions to the C tier so far this tiering video. Next up is Omanyte. Now Omanyte, I did not imagine would do as well as it did. It finished the game at 4 hours 27 minutes at level 68. Just the timing alone actually means it sits in the B tier. The level though, really kind of bad. The cut-off level for B tier, like going into the C tier, is level 70. It finished the game at level 68, meaning that it only just beat out Tentacool in both level and the time. Actually, no, the time in Tentacool was level 60, Omanyte's level 68, but kind of a big difference between the timing, so Omanyte actually does go just above Tentacool. That brings us on to Kingler. Kingler finished the game in 3 hours and 18 minutes. Absolutely ridiculous time, but nowhere near as good as Slowbro. Slowbro, yes, it finished the game at 3 hours 20, Kingler finished at 3 hours 18, but there was a 4 level difference between the two, meaning Kingler goes into the S tier, but not in front of Slowbro. Now, does it go in front of Primeape? Well, Primeape finished the game in 3 hours 16 at level 62. Kingler finished at 3 hours 18 at level 61. Now, because of them 2 minutes, I'm actually going to put Kingler behind Primeape. And you might disagree with that one, but I feel like that's the most suitable for it. And that brings us on to Golduck as well, who is going to be another S tier contender, finishing the game at 3 hours 20 minutes, but at level 60. So if you think Primeape 3 hours 16, Kingler 3 hours 18, Golduck 3 hours 20. Primeape finished level 62, Kingler 61, Golduck 60. To be fair, if I could put these three all in the exact same position, I really would, because pretty much that's bang on. Like, you can argue that's pretty much exactly the same on each one, barring a level and 2 minutes on each one. But because of that time, I'm going to put Golduck right at the bottom of the S tier. Either way, fantastic run. Next up is Rattata. At 4 hours and 30 minutes at level 68, Rattata pushes its way through all of the C tier and firmly into the middle of B tier. It beats out Weepinbell's time by 12 minutes with only 3 level difference. It was level 68, Weepinbell was 65. But I feel like that is more than enough to put Rattata before Weepinbell. I never thought Rattata would get that high up, but flipping heck, it was good Pokemon. So underrated, I enjoyed it. And I'm happy it's in that B tier. What I'm not happy about is where we're actually going to be putting Beedrill. Now Beedrill finished the game at level 67. Meaning, to be fair, it actually could go all the way up into that B tier. That is, you know, if it didn't finish the game in 7 hours and 1 minute. Awful time, meaning it doesn't even get out of this E tier. It stays right at the top before Seadra by beating them. It beat the game quicker than Seadra by 39 minutes. It literally... Because of that 1 minute difference, yeah, I couldn't put it into the D tier. It has to go into that E tier because of my criteria for these tiering. And I'm really annoyed because I actually really enjoy Beedrill. And there's a video coming up very, very soon where I'll show the full power of Beedrill. I mean, you'll have seen on New Year's Eve that I actually released monotype video for the rock types. And if you've watched that video, you know that... we've got other types coming up, and I've already planned those videos, so we know that bug type will eventually come up. I've already recorded it at this point, because I'm planning videos a few months in advance right now, just to kind of coincide with work. But yeah, Beedrill actually gets its stay in the sun, thanks to that video. And I hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Anyway, let's get back to this one. We're now talking about Ponyta. Now, Ponyta really surprised me. Considering I managed, the only reason Rapidash is in that 80 is because of the time and level, and unfortunately I did use Double Team back then. When it came to the Ponyta run, I made sure I did not use Double Team here. But that didn't mean that it gets into that A tier as well. Ponyta finished the game at 4 hours 42 minutes at level 63, meaning it's actually just the top of the C tier. Yeah, it is. It's top of C tier. It beat out Cloyster's time, beat out Cloyster's level. So yeah, Ponyta is king of the C tier right now. And that brings us on to Pidgeot. So Pidgeot is very underwhelming in terms of the moves it gets. I really feel like Game Freak really did this line dirty. But despite all of that, Pidgeot finished the game at 3 hours 42 minutes at level 62. Because of that time, it actually means that it's going to go into the A tier. But where in the A tier exactly? Well, it did not beat out Wartortle's time, it did not beat out Wartortle's... actually, it did beat out Wartortle's level, but the time difference was too great. It beat out Poliwag, so that means it actually goes just before Poliwag. And I never thought I'd get Pidgeot into that A tier. I genuinely thought it'd be like a B or a C tier Pokemon. But here we are, this is why we do these runs. Next up is Nidorina. Now, Nidorina is kind of a bad Pokemon. Like, Nidorino is decent because it actually gets some good moves, but Nidorina is pretty garbage. So garbage, in fact, it finished the game in 5 hours 17 minutes at level 67, meaning it actually sits behind Goldeen. Yes, Goldeen has beat out an evolved Pokemon, which genuinely I thought would do a lot better, but no, Goldeen did better, just better. And that's really annoying, but that's how it went. So that brings us on to the next Pokemon, which of course is Jinx, which happened on Christmas Day. Very happy with this run, I'll be completely honest with you guys, and I'm so happy it landed on Christmas Day. And Jinx delivered. It finished the game in 3 hours 48 minutes at level 59. Meaning, Pidgeot, you've been knocked off. Wartortle finished the game at 3 hours 39 minutes. Jinx finished at 3 hours 48. That 5 level difference between them in their levels means that Wartortle just edges out Jinx to place in the A tier. It's looking really full now, this, isn't it? We are about halfway through the entire Kanto Pokédex in solo runs, and it's shaping up in a way that I never imagined, really. Next up, we've got 2 left, which is Machoke. 4 hours and 3 minutes at level 69. It's a very good time, very decent time, meaning that it actually gets its place in the B tier. Where in the B tier though? It just edges out Nidorino. It doesn't edge out Electabuzz by a few minutes and a few levels, but yeah, Machoke did very, very well. And it was kind of, considering we hadn't done a fighting Pokemon since Primeape, yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was good Pokemon. I'm looking forward to the Machamp one. If Machoke can rank this highly, Machamp should be easily in that S tier or the A tier. That brings us on to the final Pokemon for this tiering list, and that is Charmander. So Charmander finished the game at 3 hours 52 minutes, but at level 74. Which is kind of annoying, because that would actually, the timing on its own would actually place it in the A tier. No, not the A tier, just the top of B tier. It's that level that really screwed it over. Being level 74 meaning it can't go in that B tier, it has to go in the C tier, and it does edge out Ponyta by a long stretch on the time, meaning Charmander is now our new king of the C tier. And considering I haven't done any of the other evolutions in that line, I feel like we've got some interesting runs to come. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please smash that like and subscribe, and if you've watched all of my videos up to now, it's really appreciated. I've got the Johto video coming out tomorrow, and you can see the tier ranking for all the ones we've done during the month of RetroBrown. Smash the like and subscribe, of course, and we'll see you soon for another tiering video. Take care.